Angry demonstrations took the streets of major Middle Eastern cities against the burning of Holy Quran by an extremist person in Sweden. The incident happened under the eye of the Sweden police. Such a thing angered Muslims around the globe, as it was a direct assault against Islam and has nothing to do with freedom of expression. This report has more.
On Saturday, far-right protesters burned a Quran and yelled anti-Muslim chants in front of Turkey's embassy in Stockholm, Sweden. Ankara promptly condemned the incident, as well as Sweden's authorization of the right-wing group's protest. Turkey also postponed a planned visit by Sweden's defense chief, which would have centered on the country's NATO membership. Even after anti-Islamophobic riots in April, Sweden, which has some of the greatest free speech laws in Europe, gave permission for yet another Quran-burning demonstration. The Turkish administration, as well as the opposition and the General Party, were all experiencing a surge of fury, which the Prime Minister and Foreign Minister frantically sought to quell. We condemn in the strongest possible terms the vile attack on our Holy Quran. Permitting this anti-Islam act, which targets Muslims and insults our sacred values, under the guise of freedom of expression is completely unacceptable, Turkey's foreign minister said. Rasmus Paludan, the leader of the Danish far-right political group Hardline, led the Quran burning. The demonstration was legal under the country's free speech legislation, but Sweden's leaders criticized the conduct, calling it appalling. The burning of the Quran on Saturday infuriated several Muslim countries. Thousands of protesters marched through Yemen's streets, as demonstrators gathered outside the Swedish consulate in Baghdad. Morocco stated it was astonished the authorities had let it take place in front of the Swedish forces of order. Indonesia, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates all criticized the act, as did the Gulf Cooperation Council and the Organization of Islamic Cooperation. Several dozen protesters gathered in front of the Swedish embassy in Istanbul, where they burnt a Swedish flag and demanded that Turkey cut diplomatic ties with Stockholm. Paludan, a Swedish-Danish activist who had already been convicted of racial abuse, incited riots in Sweden last year when he publicly burned copies of the Quran.